Greetings, me dear. In case of such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I will ever be lending ear if you find your thoughts troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems Clahir does not. The Foreseer has been missing since this morning. There have been other times when she has disappeared without a word, but we have always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the Guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devout themselves overmuch to Arcanwy are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind as to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It is not uncommon for Clahir wanderings to take a path through the markets. Sure. Da-da-da. We'll go ask in Hawker's Alley about her then. And that got me to 20 and a half, so I should be able to go straight into the 25 quest. Right after this is done. Should be easy enough. You see Makoto, agent of the Melway's Gate? Why, yes, I have seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. I feel you need to go, so I will talk quickly. The assessor was drilling me for details about a Kakiran smuggling ring based in Ilport. But when the soldiers arrived and took her away, if you wish to know her fate, I suggest you speak with Grenade of Coral Tower. Now get on with you. No problem. Bye. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Like, you can't start quest text and be queued for something and not have that eventually happen. Sistasha! Hooray! Every time I wave my hands, it makes the green screen noisy. I'm basically trying to mimic more depth than I have. The more depth I have for my green screen, the better it would be at that. It would be easier to get an even light on it, so working on it. At some point my food buff fell off. I have Carbuncle out. We have a scholar here who has asked for no wall-to-wall. They are a Sprout. We have a tank Sprout, but like Sprout doesn't mean anything on Oceanic, but it might. And then we've got a Reaper who's going to speed pull. Alright. I assume they saw the color. I'm not going to go look. I don't have new gear, though. I mean, I'm in 16 gear at level 18, so can't complain. Is that... Oh, that might not be Mike. Is that not Mike Harvey? Is it Mike Harvey? Yeah, it is Mike Harvey. Oh, they have Aos. Okay, I just saw the book and saw Carvey just standing there. I don't know what this is. I don't know how all this stuff works at this level. It seems to be a semblance of how Summoner works at Cap. Go, 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 go. I don't have any form of AoE, do I? I have Swift Cast, which goes to Z, I know that. Resurrection goes to Shift 4, I know that. Does that mean I have job action traits already? Roll action? I do. I have Addle, which I don't know where that goes normally. I have Sleep, which I don't normally use. Lucid Dreaming goes to X, usually. I don't know where Surecast goes. Surecast, I think, is Shift 7. Oh, you always see it. Okay, party list, it's always yours. That makes sense. That makes total sense. There we go. Now, is the Earth one target potency versus the Ruby one? Do the Ruby one first. Okay, so that becomes fire attunement cost. Cool. So I can use my charges. So I've got 2 charges of Ruby Ruin. Then I switch to Earth. And I've got 4 charges of... Stop. And so those are instant casts, which is nice. Because I could have been on the move there. I'm looking forward to AoE. Oh, we don't have it yet. They said in the patch notes, or in the live letter for 6.1, that they are working on going back and having more jobs feel better at lower levels. So, expect a lot of the 6.1 and 6.2 job balances to not just be balances to how they feel in Savage and Ultimate for all the endgame players, but to also be something that affects the way you feel in leveling roulettes and the way new players feel, which is good. Like, I think it's a really good thing. Alright. Now, what determines when I get to go back into Supercharge? So I've got Carbuncle out. Aether Charge. Increasing... Can only summon while in combat. Is it just that things are dying too fast? Like, that's the other thing, is I'm trying to figure some of this out, but it doesn't matter if everything's always dead. Come on. I'm sure they read the book, so as long as they've got it under control. I'm just along for the ride. I shouldn't need to move much for these fights, so it's not really going to matter which one I do first. I think I'd want to do fire first. On the off chance that I get these 2 casts off before the boss dies, so that I have the instant casts when we're on the run after this. Nope, didn't matter. Oh, what level am I now? 21. I will probably level on each boss. 21, 22, and then the last one will be 23, but it'll happen at the same time that the roulette completion ticks, which will probably be 24 and 25. So I'll probably level 2 or 3 times there. So now I can be on the move, right? Nice. I mean, they're not on the move, but I could be, which is a great place to be. Okay, back to Ruin. Cool. Hurry up. Pull, pull, pull. Pull it to the tank. Pull it to the tank. Alright. I mean, the leveling roulette thing is something I'll probably have to do each day if I want to keep hitting 30. As soon as that job is able. Hey, are the dogs on the next one? Maybe the dogs are on the next one. I feel like there were supposed to be dogs. Oh, dogs are on the next one. Right? I feel like there should have been dogs. Are we doing this? We're wasting my charges. We're wasting my charges. I pulled. Come on. We were wasting my charges. We wasted all my topazes. I let 2 of them fall. I pulled with the last one. Alright. There we go. This is a very slow and steady way to pull this, which a lot of that is that, like, we have 2 new players, and the healer specifically asked that we pull slow. But it makes this class feel different, that I'm pulling slow. Because these charges are timed. So it like, literally changes the way the class feels. It's interesting. Alright. That's why people like countdown timers, right? Like, it doesn't affect the tank. The tank doesn't have a pre-pull stack. I thought there were dogs. Dogs are the next one. Okay. And we killed the big dude, right? Yeah, we killed the big dude. So we got our key. Okay. Keep it going. Oh my gosh. I don't need bigger pulls because I don't have AoE. What I need is constant pulls, so that I always have a target. Bigger pulls wouldn't help me. And depending on your party makeup, bigger pulls help very few people. They help tanks. Which, like, that's not uncommon in MMOs. Like, in WoW, tanks do a ton of damage early on. Because tanks are the first ones that have to get an AoE. Because if you give somebody else an AoE before tanks, then they're pulling off the tank, because the tank is having to use global cooldowns to apply threat. And the other person is causing threat on everybody simultaneously, which means no matter who the tank targets first, whoever they don't target is who is going to attack the other person. So you have to give tanks AoE really early on. There's our dogs. There's our dogs. Scurvy dogs. Yeah, I saw that there was some math on, like, Warrior could technically get an extra Primal Rend, but that's a long pre-pull. That's not like a 10-second pre-pull. And that's getting super optimal. So, like, if you look at my Warrior rotation in Savage, that's not my problem. We don't need to be pre-pull Primal Rending. It's fine. It's fine. You wish every class would have an AoE? I mean, they're going back and revisiting the way old classes get their skills, so that is possible, that at least within the first couple dungeons, because there's a couple jobs that don't get them until they're, like, in the 30s. And so if we could at least get them into the 20s, you know what? Like, if they have to suffer through, like, Sastasha and Halatali without it, that's fine. But when you're in, like, Hawk Manor and jobs still don't feel good, that's kind of crappy. So it would be nice if they would get it down into, like, because you're not really, even if it was just at 30 with your jobs done, fair enough, you know. But the fact that you're pushing well into the 20s and the 30s, and it is not crazy to have an entire party that's like that, we don't need to kill this. I don't usually see these pulled. This is our biggest pull all dungeon. So I assume this is somebody that comes from another game and thinks that like pulling everything is safer than it is, or that they assume they were getting experience. So I assume they are truly a new player. This is not just somebody that's like started another character. And the unfortunate thing about that is like they should get a chance to see mechanics here, and they're not going to. It's kind of a bummer how few mechanics you see on this boss. There's not even, like, stuff to really dodge. Like, I can stand here the whole time. Just because it dies so fast. Here we go. So the unnatural ripples have kicked on. But they didn't kick on until the boss was already below half. And there they did their first thing right as the boss died. Did it give you a 24 or 25? That's the question. Nice mask, bro. Nice mask. Alright. Oh, 27! I thought maybe I'd get to 25. Nice job, tank. Agreed. Pass then. This mask has to show, even on Roth, even if that means they just float it out in front. Because there's a conjure quest where, like, you have to have the mask on. And so, like, lore-wise, it would be really crappy if they didn't make this mask work. So any skin that uses this mask, they all fit. But they're super goofy. You're crushing it, man. You're crushing it. Okay. So now, I need to go do more Hawker's Alley. And what's... Right? No. Oh. Up to Culinarian. Okay. Saga, thank you for 9 months and for sharing Prime with us. There's some lore hats, if you remember right, that just don't work. Yeah. This one is specifically stated as, like, being really holy. I don't know if they all are like that. It's not just given to us by lore, but, like, it's ceremonious. Like, it's supposed to block who you are. Look at how big that brand new ring is on my finger. What a monster. Look at that thing. Oh. Look at me. Like, that ring is intense. What would you think if you're standing in line at the grocery store and somebody in front of you in line had a ring on that size? Like the piece of candy rings. You guys remember those? The whatever they're called? Also, why is that game developed where I can only wear a left hand and a right hand ring when our head developer wears like 8 rings every day? Ring pops, thank you. Look at it. Jeezums. Lick that crystal. Look at my ring. Ridiculous. Oh no, it's got to tell me about all my gates. That was the last one I needed. Okay, here we go. You and I are going to talk tomorrow, okay? Okay. Oh wait, maybe we're going to talk right now. You and I are going to talk tomorrow. Yes. Speak with Grenade. Alright, that's you. You're my buddy. Let's have a chat now, okay? Forzier Clahia? Yes, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of Pyratos Maga. A member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Oh, then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you're already aware of this, but Forcier was once held captive by the rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dos Maga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsa Lamensa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus, we hope to borrow the knowledge of Forcier Clahia, willingly, of course, whose experiences had given her an intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves instead providing details of our search. Should you wish to speak with Forcier Clahia, I imagine she already returned safely to your guild. Alright. Let's do it. And hello. Back already. You were led to believe that she had returned here? I'm afraid not. So the Yellow Jackets told you something of her history with Dos Maga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dos Maga's banishment was the result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirates' merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into that squalid hold. Among those prisoners was young Makote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Clahia was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of her fearful daze with the gift of an initiate's grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she carried her entire career. Of course, did you not mention that Clahia's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that a Kakiran merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods the crew of the Morning Star heaved into the ocean. Even now he gloats over his salt-encrusted catch in Alpo. It is entirely possible that the Forcier's most prized possession was caught up in the Kakiran salvage net. I've no doubt now that Clahia has reached the same conclusion. To Ailport with you, Meteor. That is where you'll find our wayward assessor. It seems like you were capable of deducing that the entire time. It seems like. Alright. This got a lot darker. We could have said the black market goods were like, I don't know, raisins. But no, they had to be like the darkest part of Sistasha. Let's see here. I need to go downstairs. Can I not jump down right here? You really wouldn't let me jump down right there. How about here? There? Hey-o. Is this right? Yes. Hello. What's in here? Hey, buddy. What do you have to say? This is where we detain pirates and smugglers and other such rogues till we decide what to do with them. See to it you not as earned place here. Thanks. That was less informative than I thought. Yes. Combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Meteor, it's good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain, and so many variables are involved. But there is good news. This prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morning Star's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve a tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Laments in law and policies of Melvin's Gate would support the confiscated of goods connected to an official inspection, but alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition. Thus, I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against the black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Quay. It is time to me to gather such allies as I possess, and I count on you as one of them, Meteor. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress Tubergrim has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at Oshan's embrace. This is where we shall ambush this disreputable Kakiran. Alright. Then why are we in Airport? Alright. Up we go. Don't know how I ended up here. Now this is the 20 quest. So I need to at least get my job stones. For Summoner and Scholar. And then that would get me ready to go take on Wrath of the Titan. Wouldn't matter which one. I'd like to do both eventually. By the time I go into Heavensward, I'd like to have everything done, including Binding Coil, which I've never done. So that would be all new to me. Is you right? Okay. I don't want to start something new. It's that symbol is not a new quest. Greetings, Meteor. Your arrival completes our small company. You are equipped for battle, I trust. We need not await Glaea's arrival. After all, she's even weaker without her level 1 grimoire. Once the Kakiran appears on the bridge, we will spring our ambush. That is why we are standing out in the open. The strategy for trapping our target relies on the 2 allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincer maneuver was naturally the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Kakiran is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue as to avoid attracting attention, but do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance and will likely join the fray after hostiles ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellowjackets. They cannot be seen aiding us in what amounts to a personal matter, but they are willing to turn a blind eye for Glaea's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactics account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured now. Let us take up our positions and wait for the Kakiran to arrive. Alright. So I'm gonna hide just out of sight right here. I'm gonna look around aimlessly. Yes. Yes. Uh-oh. Filthy ambushers! They want Kakiran sparklies! Ambush them back! Your vile trade is a blight on Limsa Lamimsa. Surrender your goods at once. Geistfrei! Erstota, now! Okay. I think we're crushing this. Kakiran no scared. Kakiran have scary spell slingers. Kakiran gonna die. Conjurers. Just as Glaea predicted. We shift to combat pattern 158. Meteor, focus on the conjurers to blunt their heels. They're already dead. I took care of it. Okay. Nice. Are these instant too? Yes. nobody notices this when that guy walks by, that afterwards there's like 6,000 mercenaries walking down the road? I think your yellow jackets might be in on this. This seems a little odd to not take note of. Ever. As the merchant, every time he comes through, afterwards, like an entire army comes through. Come on. Come on. Be reasonable. Alright. I'm gonna come stand behind you. Look at me go. That's it? That appears to be the last of them. Now find the Forcier's grimoire. This is sitting on the back bumper here, open. Somebody's been reading it, and what if it fell off? Okay. I got it. Duty complete. We rescued the level 1 book, guys. Of significant personal value. Well executed, everyone. Were you able to retrieve my grimoire? Meteor, pray hand over the toe. Yes. You didn't read it, did you? I have some personal stuff written in the back. It's ruined. My wonderful grimoire is ruined. The probability of repairing this degree of damage is 0%. Even the most brilliant strategy cannot undo such ravages of seawater. I've never felt so defeated. I believe it is time I returned home. Leave her be. But how can I? He is right, Asthota. You must allow Glylia time to process. And you have other matters to which you must attend. Come, Meteor. It is time we return to the guild as well. Well, honestly, you get used to swapping your weapon out every, like, couple of months. And it's no big deal. You don't get so attached to him. Maybe the cosmetics of them, I get that. But there's glamour crystals for that, don't you worry. You gotta let go of the level 1 stuff, man. Your armory chest will eventually clog. You gotta just pitch it. So, I understand it's emotionally significant, but at some point, it was gonna have to go for her to progress. Silver lining, her item level must increase. Come on. Now let's go take on a big pirate dude. Because that we can actually do something about. Not quite the victory we imagined, was it? The moment Glylia beheld her soaked and tattered grimoire, you could see the light of hope die in her eyes. There is, however, something we can do. I will call on your aid soon. In the meantime, you would be well served to deepen your knowledge of Arcanine. I already have better. I already have the same. I already have better. Oh. I'd like these boots. I'd like these boots. Yes! Put those dress shoes on. Look and fly. I got some, like, wingtips. Boom. Yes. Nailing it, man. You're, like, ready for, like, jazz night. Oh. They're like the world's classiest bowling shoe. Let's do this.